Clickety click, click, click. Here we are on the first ever inaugural episode of the IndieCrab Podcast. I'm your host, Stan Sleet, and we're going to talk about some indie games today. And for our first episode, we have a very special guest, Mr. David Turgen. Hey there, David. David, is your Skype working?
Yeah.
David?
Yeah. I'm here.
Well, thanks for joining us, David. So you're here to talk about your upcoming title, Jacklemore. Can you tell us what kind of game is Jacklemore?
Well, there's not an easy answer to that, but I guess it's a roguelite ASCII RPG, and it is set in a high-tech version of ancient Egypt, and I've basically been making it in my head for the last 22 years, and it's going to be exclusively released for the indie favorite, the Wonder Swan.
Wow, the Wonder Swan. We'll come back to that in a bit. I also wanted to ask, what is your background? What do you do? Are you a full-time game developer?
No. I'm not. I'm a QA manager for a company that makes frozen drinks. I was picked for my gourmand-like palate, but I don't really want to talk about that.
Okay, we can just
let's talk about my game, please.
All right, sure thing. So how can people get your game? You said you're making it for the Wonder Swan. Is it? Are you gonna be releasing that as a ROM that people could maybe play on some sort of?
No. There's no emulation. We're making handmade cartridges, only artisan handmade cartridges that I will be constructing myself throughout the next year or two. Currently only 10 copies will be made. Based on their success, we'll consider a second run. The first 3 copies made will only be available to online game streamers.
Oh yeah, that's a great way for an indie dev to get noticed for sure. Big Let's Players on YouTube and Twitch.
No. I don't think that is appropriate for it's not an independent market. I'm looking specifically for streamers who have no presence on YouTube or Twitch, and really just I would prefer people with a viewership below 30.
Yeah, and wow, no, that's super indie of you, dude. You're hardcore. All right, can you tell us some more about the world of Jacklemore?
I would be happy to. It is a world without light or sound. Confusion is a central theme, and I really want to drive that home. In fact, the screen rotates 90 degrees every 45 seconds, and all of the dialogue is written in Pig Esperanto, because I wanted to create a truly universally acceptable experience that people from all countries and walks of life can appreciate. I've even exploited a glitch in the Wonder Swan graphics renderer that cuts battery life from its normal 40 hours to roughly 26 minutes, which adds a much greater degree of tension and frustration that, again, could be understood throughout all human cultures.
Wow, that's some really intense stuff, man. Yeah, just to give us a more specific idea of what the game is like, can you give us any hints about what is the story that's set forth in the world of Jacklemore?
Does a game really have to have a story?
What was that, David? I didn't catch that.
Does a game have to have a story?
Oh, Well, no, but yeah, you said it took place in Egypt, and RPGs traditionally do have a.
I think we have enough traditional games out there, and I think it's time to not maybe be so traditional.
Okay, point taken. Is there anything, any final thoughts, anything we didn't cover that you do want to share with our listeners?
No. Oh, wait. Yeah. I wrote a commercial. I wrote a commercial, actually.
Wow, a commercial. It's a word we don't hear a lot in the indie scene. That's actually really surprising coming from someone as staunchly independent as you are.
What? You arrogant. Why do you get to tell me how indie I am?
I'm not. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to.
Yeah. You're sorry. Yeah. Can I do my commercial, or are you gonna keep telling me how I think?
Yeah. Please go ahead, David.
Are you ready for a game that changes everything? Everything, and it echoes like that, like you're in the Grand Canyon.
Okay, Grand Canyon echo.
Let me finish! Coming soon, 22 years in the making. This game has been being built in my mind for 22 years. For 22 years. Good. I thought you were going to interrupt me again, and that threw me off. Prepare to leave your old life behind. Hold on. Prepare to leave your old life behind with an experience that will tear into your very soul. Only the best players and gods, only gods can beat this game. Are you ready to prove you're a god? You will lose. This is the hardest game for gods only. This is a really hard Jacklemore, coming to Wonder Swan, but not Wonder Swan color, just the monochrome one.
That's the end of it? David, that was your commercial?
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Well, good stuff, David. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a great inaugural episode. Thank you all. Thank you, David, for joining us on this week's episode of IndieCrab Podcast. Snip, 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 snip.